So welcome to our next video lesson, that is an engineering mechanics subject, and today's topic is again moment of inertia. In continuation of the previous topic, previous session we have discussed about it, and let us see again the moment of inertia of the built-up sections. So we have solved the same thing in the last class also, but in that one we have solved some problems. Now let us solve different type of problem, one type of problem. This end of the session you will be able to know that what is the built-up section and know the procedure to calculate the built-up section. So already we discussed about the built-up section. What is built-up section? So let us again recap it. So what is built-up section? How to calculate the amount of built-up section? So it is built-up sections are nothing but rolled steel sections with added attachments like flange plates are called built-up sections. So rolled steel sections are designated. So it means rolled steel sections with added attachments. Added attachments means in the case of single sections, some additional attachments means like in the form of plates, right? In the form of some angles, some in the grouping two sections together means two eye sections or two angle sections or two angle sections okay, two angle sections, or it may be what is called two channel sections, right? So all these things may be attached to like with some additional plates. Okay, so some additional plates are called as a built-up sections, right? So generally, in general, in this case, generally additionally flange plates are attached. That's right, you mentioned here this. Rolled steel sections with added attachments like flange plates are called as a built-up sections. Most of these things are required in the case of beams. This is very much required. Most of the cases we use this type of built-up sections, the beams. Okay. In columns also may be required, but if it is very heavier load subject, then only it is required. Normally, it is very common in the built-up sections of the beams. Okay. So, rolled steel section. First of all, what is the rolled steel sections? Rolled steel sections are nothing but these are the sections which are manufactured, okay, in a unit, in a what is called in a industry, okay, in a company, of course you can say, in a controlled environment with some standard dimensions, okay, with some standard dimensions, right? So that it will be uniform. Whoever manufacture these rolled steel sections with some standard sections are there, if anybody manufactures, the properties are same, okay, shall be same, of course, right? So like that they are manufactured, okay, so with some standard dimensions. If you take a I section, generally rolled steel sections are different types of them, like a I section, channel section, angle sections, and right, T sections, right? Again, plates, sheets, okay, flats. General sheets we don't have flats, plates, and solid circulars, hollow circular is tubular sections. Okay, very widely used, very common. Okay, so tubular sections as well as solid circular section, solid square sections. These are some of the rolled steel sections. Some of them I have mentioned very few. Even some more may be there. Okay, so I have mentioned only few of them. So these are called as rolled steel sections. Okay, rolled into standard sizes and shapes. Okay, so that's why I call rolled steel sections. Okay, so if you are designing a I section means if you are designing ISMB 300, for example, right? So whoever manufactures, the properties shall be same. Okay, the manufacturer may be different. The all the I section which are manufactured ISMB 300 means the moment of inertia, the flange thickness, the web thickness, and its what is called everything, all the area. Okay, and not only this one, all other properties means there are a lot of properties are there. Okay, you, that will shall be same even though manufacturers may be different. Okay, so that is one thing. So what is the generally where these details are available? So where these details are available? These details of rolled steel sections, all properties are printed in a book form, that is we call it as a steel tables. Okay, steel tables. Okay, so that will be printed in a book form, so that is available in the market. Okay, so generally it is of course for your moment inertia calculations, of course those are not required, but in the case of design of steel members, okay, design of steel structures, generally you are having a subject in steel structures, right? So that is required in the design of the members, not momentary calculation, moment of inertia calculation is not required. Okay, now where let us discuss about in detail about the steel tables. For timing, you remember that you need some properties of rolled steel section. What is rolled steel sections? What is built-up section? Right? You remember that. Rolled steel sections are designated by, so generally different types of rolled steel sections like I sections. This is also called as a beam section. Okay, because very common member that is used for the beams are nothing but I sections. Very common member. Most widely used member is nothing but beam I section, because it is I section is very much effective section in for the case of beams. Okay, next one is T sections, angle section, channel sections are also called as C sections. Sorry, so these types of sections are generally they are designated with the I section, T section, and followed by their total depth. Okay, so total depth, of course if you take this one, angle section not measured with the depth. Okay, they are measured with this size of the section. Okay, and followed by weight per meter. Generally this everything holds good for the I sections. Generally I sections are designated as ISMB 300 at the rate of 20 Newton per meter. That is its weight. 20 Newton per meter is nothing but weight per meter. Okay, and it's ISMB 300 is nothing but its total depth of the I section. Okay, from the flange to top of the flange to bottom of the flange. Okay, that is nothing but total depth of section. And ISMB means, IS means Indian standard, MB means medium beam. Okay, medium weight beam. Generally it is medium weight beam. Okay, so IS light beam, medium beam, heavy beam, wide beam. So these are some of the generally used I sections. It depends on requirements. We can go for the any type of the beam. Okay, each and everything has its own requirements. Wherever it is required, we have to use appropriate section there. Like this ISMB 250 Indian standard medium beam of 250 mm depth. Of course in this one it is not mentioned, so at the rate of followed by weight per meter. Some cases in some sections for the same weight ISMB ISA general ISMB in ISMB don't think we don't get different type of section, whereas in ISHB, so for the ISHB 250 there are two sections are available with different weights with different properties. Even though size is same, overall depth is same. Okay, but it's different, other dimensions has changed. So because of this one, what happens, the weight changes, and along with it, other properties which changes, like a moment of inertia, everything will get changes. So that's why it is sometimes it is ISMB 250 means you have to mention, some cases you will also mention the weight per meter also, so that to know that what is the which section exactly which is used. That is a general phenomenon in detailing about. But of course, for your moment of inertia calculation, this weight per meter everything is not required for you. So that's why it is simply ISMB 250 that will be required, that will be mentioned. Okay. So it is an I section of total depth 250. The properties of rolled steel section generally we require in calculation of moment of inertia. So we require area, width and thickness of flange. Of course, sometimes we need width only, but thickness maybe or may not be required. Position of centroid. Okay, in position of centroids maybe generally it is given in the problem. For you it is given in the problem, you not worry about this position of centroids. Mi about centroidal axis can be known from the steel tables. Of course, for the different type of sections, a different moment of inertia about x and y is given to you, so accordingly you have to calculate the moment of inertia, right? So it is maybe moment of inertia of this about only centroidal axis of the about centroidal axis for only that rolled steel sections are given to you in the steel tables. Okay, can be known from steel tables, only that single section. Okay, single section, that may be I section, that may be channel section, whatever it may be section, so that only about that section about its centroidal axis is given to you. Okay, about that centroidal axis. About its centroidal means about only about that section, like I section, channel section. If you take about it is having its own centroid some distance. Okay, about its centroidal axis is given or available are given in the problem, or it is available in the steel tables. Okay, so that is only required given to you. But we have to calculate the moment of inertia of the entire section. Okay, entire section about its centroidal axis, not about individual centroidal axis of the members. Okay, that we have to. That's nothing but our requirement is. We are going to learn in this one, in this section, how to calculate the moment of inertia of the entire section. Okay, about its centroidal axis of the entire section. Some attachments are generally for the part what is the use of built-up section that we have not discussed so far. So what is the use of built-up sections? So built-up sections are nothing but some cases what we do is that so the strength of the single section may not be sufficient. Okay, may not be sufficient to take the given load. Okay, the given load if it is very heavier, the single I section or single channel section or single angle section or single T section or single other section as a single member it cannot able to take this load, that much load. So what we do is that by combining more than two members, two or more sections, okay, two or more members, like a combination of channel with two channels and channel with plates, two channels with plates, I section with one I section with two plates, or one plate or top, one plate at bottom, or only one plate at top, or only one plate at bottom. Like this depends on our site requirements, design requirements. Accordingly we will design the section in such a way that so that suits our, that takes the required load. Okay, that's what our priority. Required load has to be bear it. Okay, so accordingly we have to increase the load carrying capacity to increase the strengthen. That's what it is said. Attachments are added to strengthen the section. Strengthening means increase the load carrying capacity, load taking capacity. So it is used. Okay, attachments are added to strengthen the section or to improve the sectional properties. So how to find the moment of inertia of built-up sections? The simple procedure is given to you. Of course, already discussed it. Just again, let us recap it. So rolled steel sections as a whole is taken as a single component. Means rolled steel section, entire section is to be taken as a single component. Okay, not with the combining with the others one. And attachments are taken as separate components like a plates. Just like as last class we have seen two plates, one at top, one at bottom is given. So they have to be treated as separate. Okay, one plate separate, bottom plate separate, top plate separate. Like that we have to treat. And remaining as a roll steel section as a single section. And the moment of inertia built up section is now determined by applying the parallel axis theorem. That's what you have done in the last class. Now let us go into solve one more problem in this class of this moment of inertia. Yeah, just now read the problem. Just a minute, I will take a water. Right. So two ISLC 250 sections are placed back to back at a clear distance of 100 mm as shown in figure. Okay. Of course, in this case, it is given, the figure is given. Sometimes even the figure also may not be given in the problem. So you have to, based on the given problem, given data, you have to draw the picture, figure of this built up section. You maybe need to draw it. Okay. So otherwise, without figure it is very difficult to solve the means you will feel very difficult. Okay, without me figure means to calculate this, use the parallax theorem, h distance is h, so you may not get any idea, so everything goes wrong. Even figure also will have some marks if it is not given in the problem. The figure is not given in the problem, even some if you draw the figure also, there may be some marks are allotted to the even for the figure also. Okay, so because figure is very important. Okay. To ISLC based backpack. ISLC means two Indian Standard Light Channel sections. Okay, channel sections. ISC means channel sections. 250 nothing but depth of the total channel section. Right. Distance back to back. Okay. So generally there are, of course, I have explained in the case of somewhere it is built up sections or nothing but. So somewhere I have explained. So two I sections are nothing but like this. Right. So this is two channel sections, and it's 250 is nothing but its depth. Okay, from here to here, from here to here, that is depth. Is nothing. I will show here. So it is nothing but 250. So this is nothing but 250. Entire depth of your channel section is nothing but 250. Right. So flange plates are attached at top and bottom. Okay. So two plates, of course, this what is the distance between these two? So distance between these two is nothing but it is given. So distance between these two back to back. This is back of your channel. Okay, back of your channel is this. Back to back means two are back like this. If this position like this, it is called the back to back. Sometimes your channel section may be placed like this also. It is okay. This is called face to face, or sometimes we call it as toe to toe. Okay, toe to toe. So generally this is called toe end. Okay, toe to toe or face to face. Face to face generally it is technically now we don't use the term. Generally we use the term toe to toe. Okay. In the turn it is back to back. So this is back to back. And what is the distance between they are 100 mm. That's what it is given. 100 mm distance back to back at a clear distance. Clear distance from here to here it is 100 mm. Right. And flange plates are attached to top and bottom. So size is 300 by 30. So 300 by 30. Let us say somewhere here. So we don't know either it is from here to here it is 300 because we don't know this flange width. Okay. So it is not given the problem. So that's what do we know? So we know that we don't know anything. So that's why assuming let us draw a figure like this. Okay. So and for entire section or some part of it, nothing wrong. If you draw up to here also it is not too wrong because it is our flange dimensions are not known to you. Okay, let us draw like this. I'm showing like this, just like that. It is entire. Okay, so but it is not known, right? So now you see, it is just like looking like I section. Okay, it is looking like a I section, but it is your channel section is only this one and this one and this one. This place, this is the entire portion is open, free, hollow portion. Nothing is there. No area is required. No area is provided there. It is a open portion. This section is solid and this section is solid and these plates are solid. What is the size of your plates? So this is 300. Okay, so 300 and thickness of plate is nothing but 30, sorry. Thickness of plate is 30 mm. And similarly here also it is 30. Now what is the total depth of your section? 250 plus 30 plus 30 means total 310 mm. So total depth of the section is, in this case it is 310 mm. Right. So next one is what is given, area 3000 mm square means one channel section. This is called the each channel section. Area is 3000. 3000 this one, 3000 this one. Total area 6000. Okay. And flange width, of course, 100 is there, right? So 100 flange width is given. Of course, I did not see this one. Flange width 100. Flange width 100 means this is 100, this is 100, and this is 100. Means whatever we have drawn it is correct. Unknowingly I have drawn it, but it is correct. It proves to be correct. Okay, this is 100, 100 to 100 here, 100 gone, and distance between clear distance is 100. This is another 100, and this is 100. Total 300. Our plate size also 300. So that's why it is both are like this. Okay, I did not see the flange dimensions. It is given like this. If you don't given also nothing wrong, need not worry about it. Just you take it like that. Nothing will happen with that one. Okay. So now IXX 25.5 into 10 to the power 6 means IXX of only this I section. Only this I section. This I section is 25 point. Only one I section, not this one. This one is 25.5 into 10 to the power 6. This one is 25.5 into 10 to the power 6. And similarly, IY means your centroidal y axis of your channel section lies somewhere here. Okay, so this is nothing but the about this axis moment of inertia is 22.1 into 10 to the power 6, and similarly its moment of centroidal y axis lies here. About this axis 2.1. This is separate. This is separate. Each, that's what it is. Each section, and distance of centroid from the back of web. So generally this is called flange. This is called flange. This is called web. Okay, just like I section, flange and web channel sections. So it is from here to its centroidal axis is nothing but how much it is. That's what it is given. Distance of centroid from the back of web is 25 mm. So this is 25 mm. That's what it is given. Right. Similarly, this one for this also it is same because both are of same size. So this is 25. So this one is 25. That's what this is given. What we have to do? We have to calculate the centroid axis. Now we have to calculate the centroids. Right? How to calculate centroids? Just think about for a minute. Is there any axis of symmetry? Is there? If it is symmetric, about which axis it is symmetric? About x-axis or y-axis? About which axis it is symmetric? Just to observe the figure and see about which axis it is symmetric. How to check that it is symmetry or not? Just it is divided into vertically and horizontally about any one, what is called any about any place, about any one axis you choose it. If you divide it randomly about horizontally and vertically, about which axis it is, which the axis which divides equally on both sides. Okay, equally on both sides, so that it will be one will be mirror image of the other, that we call it as a symmetric axis of symmetry. Okay, so axis of symmetry is nothing but if you cut a section into two spots, one will be mirror image of the other one. So that is nothing but that axis is which cuts the equally is nothing but that axis called the axis of symmetry. Right. So in this one, where whether it is any axis of symmetry is there, if it is there, about which axis it is symmetry, either means it is about horizontally or vertically, means on the x-axis or y-y, about which axis it is symmetry, just you observe it. Okay. right? Okay, did you observe it? So what you observed? So is there any axis symmetries are there? Yes, yes, there are some axis. It is symmetric about the x-axis, because if you cut into exactly at the midpoint in two parts, one will be the top will be mirror image for the second bottom one, or bottom is mirror image of the first top one, right? So that is nothing but axis of symmetry, right? You see this one. So if it is that is axis of symmetry is at the midpoint, then what is the centroid? Where centroid lies? What is the total depth? 210. 210 means where it is lies? So it lies at a distance of 155. It means that y bar is equal to y bar of the built up section is equal to 155 mm. Okay, so y bar of the built up section is equal to 155 mm, right? That's okay. Now let's see the what is called y axis. Is this figure is symmetric about y axis? Any vertical axis? If yes, where that vertical axis lies? Okay, so where that vertical axis passes through? So yes, your vertical axis passes through the exactly midpoint. Okay, so where the midpoint lies, now let us see where that midpoint is nothing but. So where is the midpoint? If you see that 300, so midpoint means where it is. So it's nothing but 150 mm. So its midpoint is nothing but 150 mm. Okay, right, 150 mm. So this is nothing but x bar. X bar is equal to 150 mm. Y bar is equal to 155. Okay, so that's what the your figure. Right. So again, don't get doubt that. So it is will be y axis passing through the open area. It can be okay. So the centroidal axis need not be always pass through the section. So it may be outside section, especially in the case of say, channel section. We are observed for channel section y axis outside its section. Okay, outside section means some part is outside, some part is cutting. Okay, only some part it is cutting, some part it is not cutting. Okay, so like that it may be outside the area also. The centroid is outside the area for channel section. Here also it is centroid lies here. The centroid of this entire figure as a built up section is nothing but this is C, centroid. The centroid coordinates are, first one, what is the x coordinate? X coordinate is 150 and y coordinate is 155. Okay, y coordinate is 155. What is the origin? So what is the reference? Again, you need to show the reference. Without reference, so your coordinates are not valid. So this is a reference. So this is, let us say, 0 0. So from this one it is your 150 155. Okay, so this is reference axis OY and this is reference axis OX. Okay, this is origin O. Okay, about this one, the centroid's coordinates are 150 by 155. Now we have calculated the coordinates, I mean centroids. So once centroid is over, but some part of the problem is over. Of course, in this case, it is both symmetric. By seeing the figure itself, we can able to say that where the centroid is, but not an issue at all. Right? Okay. So still I have explained. Okay, so that we will have the some idea. Right now, this is a figure. This is your this type. This is total flange width 300. I mean plate width 300. So generally, why it is shown some tapered here, tapered portion. So generally, sections are not exactly manufactured like this. Okay, so not exactly manufactured. It is sharp corners. Okay, roll steel sections are not manufactured like exactly with sharp corners, like a rectangular. Okay, with 90 degrees here, not like that. Okay, they are prepared some tapering here. Okay, some sloping portion. Okay, with some radius. They are prepared so that stress concentration, there will be some stress concentration will be there or some. So that's why it is prepared like this, some corners. Okay, chamfering, we can say that some chamfer by this or chamfer. And similarly, here also it is, in this case it is shown it is exactly 90 degrees, but here also it is chamfered like that generally. The actual channel sections or whatever sections, they will be the root point. This is called the root. So these roots are little bit of curved one. Okay, not exactly rectangular. Okay, some curved portion will be there here also, right? Like this it is your, of course this is your 225. Why it is 225? It is 250. It is given in the problem, it is 250. Now you showing this 225 here. Okay, so somewhere something wrong. Okay, let us see afterwards. It is 250 or 225. Okay, this is 225 only. But idiot has given 225. Now it is showing in the problem he has given 250. It is showing 225. Yeah, it is 225 only. If the 225 only has prepared the problem, right? I will even modify the problem also. Just a minute. We'll discard it everything. So I will modify it here itself. Okay, so this is the problem 255. Now this is a given figure. Of course, in whatever previous we have discussed about the calculation of centroids, the values may be changes, but the procedure is remains same. Okay, so forget about these values. Now let us see what is the values of centroids of x bar and y bar. Now x bar is equal to, in this case it is the given figure. So this is the given figure again written here, right? So this is, if you calculate the x bar, built up section x bar, it is very simple again. What is the distance? It is 225 plus 30, 2 plus 30 here, 25 plus 60. 60 means 285. 285 by 2 means it is a 142.5. It is again, it is a calculation is same, half of the distance only, but it is because it is 250 previously, it was, now it is made into 225. So that is only a difference. Remaining everything is same, right? X bar equal to 150. Obviously, it is from here to here. It is x bar equal to 150 only, right? For top and bottom plates, the area is equal to 9,000 because it is 300 into 30. 300 into 30 means 9,000, and x1 and x4. Of course, what is 1 and 4 means this is 2, 3. If you see this one, 1, 2 plates are 1, 2. Okay, so and 3, 4. Yeah, two channel sections are, again it is same mistake here. Something, it is x1 and x4 is equal to. Okay, so again it is same problem. It is given numbered as 1, 2 here, is 3, 4 here. That is very wrong here. So as per your calculation, so it is 1 is this one and 4 is the top light. Okay, so 1 is this one and 4 is the top light. So this is 4 and this one is probably 2. Of course, these numbers 2 and 3 may be interchanged, nothing will happen. Okay, right? Right. So area 1 and 4 is equal to, so x1 is equal to 150 because it is from here, so it is 150 only. So this is the reference, from the reference. So x1 is nothing but center of this one. So obviously it is 300 means 150 only for 1 and 4. And whereas y1 is equal to 15 mm means from here to here, because the display is 30 by 2 means 15 mm, that's why it is 15 mm. Whereas from the top to top of the center of this one, so he has calculated 30 plus 225 plus 30 by 2, that's why it is 270. 30 plus this is 225 plus 30 by 2, that's what it is, 270 mm. We got it, right? So of course that is may or may not requires. I will generally we will go with different procedure. This y4 may or may not requires, and this y1 also may not requires. Okay, for us x1 x4 of course it is okay. No. Yeah, Right, for the channels y2, y3, y4 is equal to 142.5. So it is means vertical distances, it is 142.5. Okay, 142.5 y2 and y3. Of course, for the two channels the distance is from here to here it is same, because centroids of centroidal axis of channels of both channels will coincide with the centroids of the. So this again, this numbering is wrong again. Here also it is numbering is wrong. Okay, so again, okay, so this is, so this is 4, this is 2, this is 3. Right, so like this is a, now let us go to the picture. Yeah, I will explain briefly very quickly, so that this is so Ixx is equal to what? So Ixx is equal to moment of inertia of the plates, okay, about this centroidal axis plus moment of inertia of the these plates, okay, so these channels, right? So like that we have to calculate. Now first, let if we take this moment of inertia of the first section is nothing but plates. So how many plates are there? What, two plates are there. Like this directly you can take these two plates because they are equal distance from the x axis. So directly we can take these two axes. So for that one, what we have to do for the about its centroidal axis is nothing but BD cube by 12. B is nothing but 300 into 20 cube. So 30 cube. So it is by 12. So BD cube by 12 plus AH square. AH is nothing but 9000. Here is 300 into 3. 900 into H square. H is nothing but from, yeah, from here. See this. From here to here we have to calculate. So that distance is nothing but H. So for H is nothing but for how much is from here to here already we have calculated as 142.5, right? So from here to here we have calculated as 142.5, and right, so and from here to here it is 30 by 2 means 15 mm, right? So 15 mm from here to here means it is, what is this distance? This will be, distance will be 142.5 minus 15 mm. 142.5 minus 15 mm means it is 135, 130, yeah, 5. So it is minus 10, 132. So it is 127.5, right? So it is 127.5 mm square, right? So that is nothing but your first figure. I mean 1 and 4. Okay, for the figure 1 for and 5 for the figure 4. And so whereas for the figure 3 and 4, because 2, sorry, 2 and 3, the centroidal axis of the channel and centroidal axis of the your entire section coincides. Okay, that's why it is directly you add the moment of inertia of those sections. So how much it is moment of inertia of those sections? Let us see once. How much it is? 25.5 into 10 to the power 6. 25.5 into 10 to the power 6. Right? 25.5 into 10 to the power 6. So that is nothing but 25.5 into 10 to the power of 6. Again, here also you have to multiply with the 2 because two channels are there. Right? So with two channels are there, so you have to multiply with the 2 to get the Ixx of the entire figure. That's what it is. Right? Now let us see figure moment of inertia calculation. Ixx is equal to 300 into 30 cube by 12 plus 9000 into 142.5 minus 15, right? Plus 25.5 into 10 to the power. So again, see this. I have not used this term because this 142 minus 5, 142 minus becomes 0. So that's why we are not used. Parallel axis here not applicable, not requires. Okay, because when becoming 0 means it is meaningless. So that's why directly I will use this one, right? So like this, you have to calculate the. This is one channel. This is another channel. This is another plate. Okay. So this is bottom plate and this is top plate, this is bottom plate. Like this, it's 4 calculations he has made. Instead of that, if you multiply with 2, then it will be, you can save your calculation time. So Ix6 is equal to 344.96 into 10 to the power 6. That's what the moment of inertia about X axis. Similarly, let us see y axis. Alternatively, Is can be determined by using principle of cutout sections as possible. 2 into intersection into BDQ by 12 minus BDQ by 12. Of course, this is little bit of advanced stage. So at this time, in initial stages, it is better to not to use this one. So unnecessarily, you may get confused. Okay. So when you are familiar with the moment of inertia calculation with basic procedure, then you can go with that procedure. Right. So Iyy is equal to this is about plates 30 into, of course, dB cube by 12. That's why it is 30 into 300 cube by 12 plus 9000 into. So it is again because your centroidal y axis of the plate and centroidal y axis of the entire section is coinciding. That's why it is no need to use the parallel axis theorem here. That's why it is 150. Even if you use it, 150 minus 150 becoming 0. Directly, if you multiply here 2 with 2, that is need not again write again the equation 2 times. No use of this one. Okay, this is about one plate. Okay, this is nothing but plates. Now let us see the channel sections. Channel section 2.1. This is a moment of inertia about its centroidal axis. About the centroidal axis of the only single channel section. Okay, now for this one we have to apply the parallel axis theorem, because so in this one, if you see the figure, very dead one. So figure, yeah. So your channel centroidal axis of your, this is y axis of this one. So that's why it is how much distance apart? It is 25 distance apart. So how to calculate the moment of inertia of this section? So it is nothing but Iyy is equal to, this one is okay, no passing through the section. For the plates, no issue. We have directly used the dB cube by 12. We can get it multiply with 2 plates is over. Now let us see this one. So this one is 6.1 into it is 2.1 into 10 to the power 6, right? So into 10 to the power 6, that is nothing but your centroidal axis. Now let's parallel axis theorem, because its centroidal axis here, section centroidal axis as a built up section is here. So they are some distance apart. So we have to apply the parallel axis theorem and transfer the moment of inertia of this axis to this axis, right? That is nothing but your transfer theorem or parallel axis theorem, whatever it is. So that for that one, so what we do, moment of inertia about this axis, that is nothing but Iyy of the channel section plus ah square, area into area of one channel, into h square. H is nothing but from here to here the distance. Okay, the distance how much? From here to here it is given in the problem, that is nothing but 25. From the back of centroidal distance from the back of the web, that is given as a 25 mm. Plus how much this distance? Just think. So if it is total distance is 100, where the center point lies? So it is nothing but 50. Okay. So this is nothing but at midpoint, because it is this entire portion is cutting into two parts. So that's why it is nothing but midpoint. Midpoint means 100 by 2 means 50. So 50 plus 25, 75 square. That's what it is given here. 75 square, right? So 150 minus 75 square. Don't forget, don't think that it is 150 minus 75. Just you think that it is 175 square. Directly substitute into 2. Again the same thing. You multiply with the 2. Again, don't use the 2 times calculations. Unnecessarily waste of writing all these equations. Okay, unnecessarily time waste in the examinations. Even you don't find sufficient time to, especially in engineering mechanics, for calculation of these problems, right? So directly we'll get the Iyy, right? So like this, you have to calculate the moment of inertia of the built up sections. So in this class, what you have discussed? So we have discussed determination of moment of inertia of a built up section. Involves RS section at one element, other plan plates, etc. as a number of simple elements. So built up section is calculated by applying parallel axis theorem, right? So this is how we have discussed in the last this class. Right. Now let us stop here.